Good afternoon. Hello everyone. Flat out. My name is Ted Klaus. I am the global large project leader for the next generation NSX. I'm standing here at the North American International Auto Show in front of my beautiful baby, the next generation NSX. And I'd just like to explain some of the high-level fundamentals here. We have a unique power unit which comprises a very low-mounted twin turbocharged V6. It's mated to a 9-speed dual clutch, and sandwiched in between is one of three electric motors. So we have one motor here. We also have two motors up front. Those two motors are independent, and all three motors support all of your driving demands. So when you accelerate, all three motors are supporting your acceleration. When you brake, they all support braking as well as recover energy. And when you turn, the two motors up front are actually supporting your driving demands. I just want to say a few things. Fundamentally, these entire powertrain is arranged to be within the axles and extremely low, much like an F1 machine. That is key to support your four tires always staying firmly planted on the ground. So we have very minimal load transfer from side to side or front to rear. This vehicle actually has the lowest center of gravity in its class. Also, I want to say that these unique electric motors, we understand they add a weight and complexity, but the way in which we use them, we do not control you. You are in full control, and we respond to your inputs. Again, the throttle, the brake, and the steering. So now I just want to talk a little bit about the challenge of aerodynamics as well as cooling this machine. So what we have here in the front, we have the front intake, certainly in the center and certainly on the sides. These are the main cooling radiators for the power unit. And then we need to bring air actually into the vehicle. Then once the air is inside the vehicle, we can understand we need to let the air exit. So we let the air exit on the hood as well as the fender vent.
This is also an outlet for the heat of the electric motors?
This is an outlet, yes, not only for the radiators, but actually the front twin motor unit, it is cooled by a separate radiator. So this is the outlet for, yes, that hot air, but this outlet is carefully constructed to actually push the vehicle into the ground, providing the necessary front downforce. Also, we bring cooling air to cool the brakes, and as you can imagine, there's a lot of air brought here to cool the brakes, and so if we allow the air to sit here, it also lifts up the front of the car, so we need to let the air exit here. Again, this works together with the hood vent to provide the downforce. There's one clever vent here that actually not many people might pick up on, but this vent is there, and you can imagine on a spinning wheel there's a lot of turbulence here, and so this vent helps to keep the turbulence inside the wheel, exiting out the fender vent, and attached. That's critical because if the air is very turbulent away from the body, it will not be able to next enter into and cool the mid-mounted engine. So there you can see the intercooler down low. You can also see, I'll put my hand here, the vent for the intake. So feeding the intercooler, directly feeding the intake. The air must feed this. Now we're moving towards the back. For sure, there's a lot of air that is now in the engine compartment. We have air coming across the deck lid spoiler. We have air actually exiting out this almost invisible vent, as well as air exiting here across the diffuser. So all of these are working together. Again, this air vent actually forces the air that's coming across the spoiler to stay attached, supporting downforce. And so without any actual active aerodynamic devices, we've cleverly combined the cooling needs for the power unit and the brakes and provided the downforce to keep your supercar planted on the road. Yeah, the suspension concept is based on providing you, I don't want to talk about comfort like a normal car. This is a supercar. So two main aspects. First and foremost, just like we lower down the center of mass to stabilize the tire, we need to stabilize the tire also from the fundamental suspension, both unsprung mass as well as the dampers. We will talk about more later when we can give you a chance to drive. But also, as you sit in the vehicle, we need to stabilize your motions in the vehicle, so you cannot be accurate. If the vehicle is moving around, it actually affects your input and the stability of your input. So both at the tire and up above at the body, we are going to stabilize the motions. This is not going to be the rough, jarring experience, but rather the experience based on traction and stabilizing you as a driver.
One last question, at least something that we can see. Can you tell us a bit about the choice of this tire? I think it's a Sport Contact 5P. Can you tell us about how that you came into that tire during the development process? And if it's possible, what other tires did you have tried in this process?
So certainly we looked at the range of high performance tires, but in keeping with our concept to provide performance which is truly able to be realized in the real world, in everyday environments, the Continental selection, which we have made, really was the best balanced tire, again, for this real world driving. So we don't want you to misunderstand. Still, it's wonderful on the track, but it's really focused for real world performance. Yeah, the concept of the interior, we say human support cockpit. This is coming directly from the original NSX. I think in terms of human support, I think everyone can understand directly the seat. And the support on the seat needs to be balanced. Rib cage, the shoulder. I think if you look only at the seat, you might misunderstand the lateral support, because actually when you drive with your legs, you have nice support, not only on the center console here.
No hard surface.
No hard surface. And again here, when I close the door, this surface here becomes the support.
It's a bit comfy.
And so we're very intentional with those surfaces. So now with you properly supported in the seat, now the steering wheel next. If you can actually film the steering wheel and the grip and the fit of the steering wheel, it's very nice. Then of course, we should not have a lot of gauges, so the gauges are very, very simple. The dash is down low to not be in your way. And here, as you enter, so certainly the power button will boot up. So you can fire the engine, it's very simple. You can select drive, and you are away.
You can see some headroom there.
Yeah,
there's a cavity on the.
So the headroom is sufficient for actually quite tall people, or also if you want to go to the track to provide some sufficient helmet space. And finally, the A-pillar is actually quite narrow, and as you sit in the vehicle, it does not obstruct your field of view at all. Of course, you can enjoy the lovely hood vents and bulges, not unlike the original NSX, and those become interesting ways in which to increase the accuracy or precision of your driving as you compare them to the guardrail or the line on the road.
So Klaus, define the NSX. What is the drive in it in one phrase?
The driver is just fully connected to the car.
Thanks a lot, Klaus. Thanks for your attention.